If I could go back and give myself advice as a brand new wedding cake designer, this is what I would say. When I first started, there were no books. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. There were not even courses on this. I was just kind of winging it. I knew I had the passion and I had the grit and I had the drive, but I really didn't know what I was doing. So I do wish that someone had pulled me aside and taught me these 10 things sooner, because I could have saved so much time. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm sure there's at least one person out there that is feeling like I felt, like I was all alone, not really knowing what I was doing, trying to start this business. So this is for you. Hi, I am Jennifer Williamson, and I help wedding cake designers run successful, profitable, enjoyable wedding cake businesses. And we use aligned marketing, we use smart strategies, and a lot of mindset tools without the stress and the struggle. So thanks for being here. Okay, so we're going to start with the top 10. I'm going to do 5 today, and I'm going to do 5 in my next video. So number 10 is you want to focus on long-term thinking. And we've all heard that expression, begin with the end in mind. And this is so true. When you don't have a goal, it's so easy to get distracted and led in directions that don't help you achieve any kind of goal. And, again, it's so easy to get off track. So when you think long term and you have some sort of outcome that you are looking for, then it's really easy to take the jobs and to think in that mindset that's going to get you to that goal, okay? And you can change your goals. You can have short-term goals and long-term goals, but you want to have some sort of an idea of what you want to be, what you want to do, and where you're going. And I know when I first started, I was just making cakes. I didn't really know. I didn't have any idea. And then once I realized that, okay, I don't want to staff. I want to be a boutique wedding cake maker. I don't want to make anything but wedding cakes. And I want to focus on quality. I want to focus on the artistic part of it because my background was in art. And I wanted, to stay small. I didn't want to just manage a bunch of people. And I knew that I wanted to market to the Boston market and be the best wedding cake maker in Boston. So once I got those goals in place, it really helped me to achieve those goals. But, like I said, I could have done it a lot faster if I figured it out. Okay, so it's number 10. Number 9 is confidence is everything. Now, if you have been following any of my content in the past, you will know that I'm always focusing on the fact that we're not only selling just a product, we're selling ourselves as a part of a team. And that requires people to have confidence in us. And where does that come from? That comes from us being confident, okay? So in order to do that, you have to perfect your craft. You have to work on your relationship skills. You have to work on your business skills. You have to work on your communication skills. And you really have to own it. You really have to own who you are as a designer. And I know it's so hard when we're first starting and we don't really know what we're doing or where we're at in business, but you really want to keep working on that. And you can do that through education. You can do that through mentorship and all kinds of things, and just really, working to be the designer and the business owner that you want to be. And when you have that confidence, people will see that in you and they will automatically want you to be on a part of their team because they trust you. Okay, so confidence is huge. All right, so number 8 is the customer isn't always right, right? We've always heard the customer is always right. This is so not true. There are so many a-holes out there that you don't have to work with. And the thing is, this is your business, okay? So you can run your business like you want to run it. Obviously, it has to be ethical and things like that, but you don't have to have a client tell you to change a contract. You don't have to put up with a client having you want to do something that you're uncomfortable with, or having you do something that is out of the realm of what your business offers, okay? So when you, again, run your business the way you want to run it, you set the rules, you set the guidelines. It's not the customers who tell you how to run your business. So the customer is not always right, and you do not have to tolerate the kind of behavior that some people will ask you to, people will ask you to do things, like I said, like change a contract or make something that is not in your wheelhouse or something like that. And I will tell you, once you get those guidelines in order and once you set those boundaries, it is so liberating. And people say to me all the time, like, oh my God, you make wedding cakes, you must work with Bridezillas. Like, I don't have any, none, zero. I don't have any Bridezillas. I fired one client in the past 28 years, and it was because they wanted me to make something that I was not comfortable making. So I was like, you know what, listen, maybe you should try to find somebody else, and it all worked out. And I'm so glad I did that. So it's your business. You run it the way that you want it, okay? So that's number 8. Number 7 is competitors are your friends, okay? Competitors are a gift. Competitors are a huge asset to your business. And it's so easy in the beginning, especially, to be threatened by people that have been in business longer than you, or that are doing something better than you, or are bigger than you, or more successful in whatever ways. But when you develop relationships with these competitors, it's just going to benefit your business. And I'll tell you, the first way is in referrals, okay? So I know that when I'm booked or on vacation or I'm not available for a job, I send my extra work to someone that I have a relationship with. And if there's a competitor that has not been friendly to me, or that I'm not really digging for whatever reason, mostly it's because I'm friendly to everybody when I first meet them. So if I feel like I don't want to give my business to someone, I will go out of my way to not refer someone that has not been friendly to me. So it goes both ways. And then, it's nice always to have backup. And as small businesses, where we are a one-woman show or a one-man show, I'm a one-woman show here, people will sometimes ask me, do you have backup? And then I can say with all confidence, yes, I have backup. And I can tell you a story that happened last year. There's a woman in town, she actually goes to my gym, and her son is one of the coaches. And he called me. So she is a wedding cake designer, and she's local, and she does beautiful work, and I'm very supportive of her work, and we have a little bit of overlap in clients. She's local. So he called me and he's like, oh my gosh, Jenny, my mom is in the hospital and she has a wedding tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do? So I ended up going to her house and putting the wedding cake together. It had not been finished at all. And it was funny because her daughter was going to finish it, and her daughter had never made a cake before. And I'm like, no, I'll take care of it. No big deal. So I ended up finishing the wedding cake, put it in the fridge. It was for the next day. So her son and daughter delivered it the next day, and she was still in the hospital. She was there for days. And she wrote me after, and she was like, oh my God, Jenny, I can't thank you enough. I slept at night knowing that my clients got something that, I don't have to worry about, I could be proud of. And she was so thankful. And, the way that I thought about that could have been me. I could have been in the hospital and needed somebody to finish work. So you always want to have some sort of backup. And it's always nice too, just to have someone that you can talk to, somebody that knows, that you can trust, that you can call up the phone and say like, oh my God, this happened to me today. More than just some stranger on the internet. It means a lot more when you have somebody local, or somebody that knows your market, or someone that you can call on or refer to, because all that good energy will come back to you. Okay. So that's the second reason. And then the third one is all the opportunities. So when you're friends with these competitors, you call competitors, but they're really your friends, you get special opportunities. So for instance, one of the women that I was friends with in the very beginning, when she retired, I was the first one she called to see if I wanted to buy her business. And no, I did not want to buy her business, but she gave me first refusal for all her equipment. And I was able, I had that opportunity before anyone, and she was wonderful. And, that relationship meant so much to me. And there was another woman who she did weddings, and she also did cupcakes and things like that. And when she went out of business, same thing. She called me and she's like, hey, Jenny, I've got a bunch of equipment. Do you want to buy it? I ended up buying a ton of stuff for like 10% of what she paid for it. And I still have it in my kitchen today. And I was also able to have her help me with some things after. It's always nice. Like, I think I had her help me with a delivery, but it's always nice to have somebody that you can call and say, like, oh my gosh, can I borrow, I don't know, a cup of sugar? Like, I can't think of anything else right now, but it's always nice to have somebody local or somebody that knows your market and knows what you're doing. So your competitors are your friends. And then again, all that good energy is just going to come back to you. So when you have a community of people that you have a really good relationship in this business, that is such a huge asset to your business. Okay. So that is number 7. And then number 6 is different is the best. Okay. What I mean by that is better is not always best, bigger is not always best, but you have to be good at something. And I remember when I first started my business, I was a full-time dental assistant. I was finishing my business degree at night, and I was doing my weddings on the side. And there was a patient that came in, and his name was Frank. He was wonderful. He was a very successful business owner. And we would talk biz every now and then when he came in. And he told me, he said to me, he said, Jennifer, he said, you don't have to be the best to be a successful business person. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course I have to be the best. Like, what else is there except the best? But now I know what he means. You don't have to be the best at everything. And just because you are the best does not mean you're necessarily going to be a good business owner. Those are two different things. So you could be the best chef in the world, the best wedding cake designer in the world, and be really crappy at running a business. Those two things are different. So you have to know how to run a business. You have to know that. You have to have communication skills and relationship skills and know how to write a business plan and know your numbers and things like that. But you also have to be good at what you do, but you don't have to be the absolute best at what you do to be profitable, to have an enjoyable business. You don't have to be the biggest business in the world to have a successful business. Those are different things. So just because you are great at something does not mean it's going to be profitable or enjoyable. So best is not the best, but you have to be good at something. You really want to be different. You really want to show your strengths and what you do that is different than your competitors and different than what's out there in the market, and offer your clients value and offer them something that they cannot get anywhere else. So you want to work on developing your particular strengths, because you are the value of your business. People are going to be hiring you because of you. So it's not just because you have the best chocolate cake in town. That is not the one determining factor to a successful business. Okay, so those are my top 5 for today. We're going to get into the real 5 through 1 in the next video. So I hope some of this resonates with you. If it does, please like and subscribe to this channel. And we do have the waitlist coming. The waitlist actually is open for my Wedding Cake Business Academy, which is launching in August. So enrollment will be open in August. I have not announced the date yet, but if you want to be on the waitlist to be the first to be alerted when that is coming up, please check the description. I'll have the link in there. And if you have any questions about your business, or you have some things that you've learned or that you want to learn that maybe you're struggling with, put it in the comments. I would love to hear it. If you want to dive deeper, you can always set up a call and see what the program is all about. I am offering a little special offer for anyone that signs up early. I'm going to be offering a free 1-hour coaching call for anyone who wants to commit early to that. So feel free to ask me questions about that too. Put it in the comments. You can email me. Everything will be in the description. Okay. So thank you so much for being here.